Good morning, students. Today we will discuss methods of translation. Translation exposure or accounting exposure. Consolidated financial statements are prepared by all MNCs having business operation in different countries in order to present the position of the company as a group at the end of accounting period, usually a year ending on 31st March. Translation exposure relates to the changes in valuation of assets or in profits which may occur when accounting statements prepared in foreign currency are translated into domestic currency for the purpose of preparation of consolidated financial statements. Only those assets and liabilities are exposed to translation exposure whose value is translated at current exchange rates. This is a short-term accounting exposure. It can be measured as exposed assets minus exposed liabilities into expected exchange rate. There are 4 methods of translation: temporal method, current rate method, current non-current method, monetary non-monetary method. Now we will discuss all methods one by one. Temporal method. Under this method, all the assets and liabilities which are accounted at historical value are to be translated at historical rates. These assets and liabilities which are carried at current value are to be translated at exchange rate prevailing on the balance sheet date. The current assets are to be evaluated at market values. That is why these are translated at current rate, whereas fixed assets are evaluated at historical cost basis. That is why these assets are translated at historical rate. The items which are carried at historical cost, like the cost of goods sold, depreciation, amortization expenses, etc., are to be translated at historical cost. All the receivables, payables, and cash are to be translated at current rate. Items of income statement. The company can use an average rate during that accounting period or the exchange rate prevailing at the time when these transactions actually took place for the purpose of translation. Current rate method. Under this method, all assets, liabilities, incomes and expenses except equity capital are translated at current exchange rate. When foreign currency denominated assets are greater than foreign currency denominated liabilities, then company will enjoy gains as a result of revaluation, and it will suffer losses as a result of devaluation. We can say that under current rate method, all assets and liabilities are translated at current rate. For the items of income statement, company can use actual exchange rate for the day when revenues and expenses were incurred, or it can also use an appropriate weighted average exchange rate. For dividend, company can use exchange rate in effect on the date of payment. For the purpose of equity, common stock and paid-in capital accounts, company can use an appropriate historical rate. Next is current and non-current method. Under this method, current assets and liabilities are valued at current rate, whereas non-current assets and non-current liabilities are valued at historical rate. The underlying principle is that assets and liabilities should be translated on the basis of their maturity. Current liabilities and current assets are to be translated at exchange rate prevailing on the balance sheet date, whereas non-current liabilities and fixed assets are to be carried at historical exchange rate. The expenses which are related to these assets like depreciation etc. are to be translated at a rate used for the translation of related assets. The components of income statement are to be translated at average rates. Current assets are translated at spot rate. Non-current assets are translated at historical rate in effect when the item was first recorded in the books of accounts. Next is monetary and non-monetary method. Under this method, all monetary items are valued at current rate, whereas non-monetary items are valued at historical rate. The historical rate is used to translate non-monetary assets, non-monetary liabilities and share capital. The components of income statement are to be carried at average rate. The underlying principle is that monetary accounts have a similarity because their value represents a sum of money whose value changes as the exchange rate changes. All monetary balance sheet accounts such as cash, marketable securities, accounts receivable of a foreign subsidiary are to be translated at current exchange rate. All non-monetary balance sheet accounts such as owner's equity, land are to be translated at historical exchange rate. In effect, when the account was first recorded. Now if we compare different translation method, we can find out the level of exposure is different as per the method of translation. In case of current rate method, the exposure is very high, whereas in case of temporal and non-monetary and monetary method, the exposure level is very low. The summary sheet displayed here clearly reflects the level of exposure under different methods of translation. The items which are translated at current rate are exposed to the translation risk, whereas the items which are not translated at current rate are not exposed to the translation risk. Thank you.